Hello, everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
United States Steel, USS, the industrial family that serves the nation, presents The Hour of Mystery. Starring tonight, Laurence Olivier. United States Steel Corporation, whose products, identified by the familiar USS label, serve you in your home, your business, and when you travel, invites you to listen to a full hour of mystery, intrigue, and adventure. The first in our series of 13 summer programs. Our story tonight is Journey into Fear by Eric Ambler. Our star is the distinguished English actor of stage and screen, now appearing in New York with London's Old Vic Theatre Company, Laurence Olivier. Laurence Olivier as David Graham in Journey to Fear.
Tell us.
I won't. I won't.
Listen to me, stupid one. We're not the local police of Gallipoli. We're the Turkish secret police. You've been caught with a knife and 2 guns in the company of a known murderer. Look around at us. There isn't a chance. You will have to tell us. You were hired to kill somebody. Who was it? Tell us.
I'll tell.
Quickly, then. Who was it you were going to kill?
The Englishman, David Graham.
I am David Graham. Shortly after the war started in 1939, my company sent me to Gallipoli on a business trip. I worked hard in Gallipoli for 3 months, but it was very dull there. It was so dull that I took to imagining things. I thought for a while that a man was following me because for 3 days, wherever I went, I caught sight of that same little man with an evil ferret's face. But, of course, this must have been all in my mind, because after a while I didn't see that man anymore. Finally, my work was done, and I was going home. I went to Istanbul, where I had to wait one night for a train. I dined with Mr. Kopaikin, our Istanbul representative, and after dinner invited him to my hotel room for a drink.
I'm glad you asked me. I can use the drink, Graham.
Fine.
And then, of course, knowing that you're in your room, I'll be sure you're safe.
You're rather an old woman about my safety, Kopaikin.
Well, you're a valuable man, Graham.
No, but here we are.
Graham, wait. Do you hear any noise inside?
Of course not.
Be careful. I think someone is in your room.
I'll cut into you. Here, let's go in.
No, Graham, no. Listen to me. You'll have to open the door, but keep well over to the side. Don't find yourself in the doorway.
Kopaikin, old man, you've got a bad case of nerves. Here.
Graham! Ow! Graham!
Turn on the light. Get to the window. Catch it.
Stop! There's no use, Graham. It's gone.
Dirty little rat.
Oh, the door. Wait a moment. People here.
Well, lucky for me, you did hear that noise in here, Kopaikin.
Are you all right, Graham?
Oh, yes. Stop me in the hand. Thank you very much.
Come, let me bandage it. Come.
Thanks.
Here, this handkerchief will do. Oh, that's not too nasty.
I should thank you, Kopaikin. You probably saved my life.
Well, said you're a very valuable man, Graham. Does it hurt? Huh?
No.
Oh, there. No, I think it's all right.
That feels fine. Thanks. I don't think he got away with anything.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't.
Bags are still locked. There was nothing much. Hey, Hey, wait a minute, Kopaikin. Why are you sure he didn't get anything?
Never mind.
You've been hinting mysterious things all evening. Kopaikin, did you really hear a sound in here, or did you just know somebody was waiting?
Never mind.
All right. Maybe I'm imagining things now. At any rate, I'd better telephone the management.
No.
Why not?
I'm afraid to report it to the Istanbul police.
What are you talking about? That's just what I want them to do. I want that dirty little thief caught.
The city police must know nothing of this.
Why not?
This is a case for the secret police.
Secret police?
Exactly. Come here. Come. Look out the window. See? The man climbed up a steel framework from the terrace. He could go to any other room on this floor by the same method. Why did he pick yours?
I suppose he had to pick somebody.
The lock on your window was forced. It's hot tonight. Almost all the other windows are open. Why would a mere burglar select a window that was locked?
Don't ask me why a burglar does anything.
It wasn't a burglar. That's why I'm going to call the secret police. Get me Smalley, 532. Hello? Colonel Harkey, please. Hello? Colonel Harkey? Go fight me. Yes. Yes, just as we feel. Someone shot Graham. No, he is not serious. No. Room 261, Grandfather Terrace. Yes, I'll stay with him until you get here, yes.
Kopaikin, will you tell me what all this melodrama means?
It's time you were told. The man that you call a burglar came here for no other purpose than to kill you. Graham, there is a plot against your life.
Mr. Graham, stop pacing. Sit down and listen to me.
All right, Colonel Harkey. I have listened to you, and I've listened to Kopaikin before you came. And all I know is that you think this burglar came here to kill me.
You ought to think so by now, Mr. Graham. You're in the employ of Messrs. Cater and Bliss Limited, the English armament manufacturers.
Yes, I'm a naval ordnance engineer.
I know it. And I also know that certain of our naval vessels are to be rearmed with new guns and torpedo tubes. And that is why you're in Turkey.
That's correct.
All right. Now, let us suppose that you'd been killed tonight. What would be the effect on this business that you're engaged in?
The whole project would be delayed.
How long?
Oh, I see what you're driving at. I'm an engineer. I'm afraid I've never thought about things like this. But I get it now, yeah. I was told to put nothing on paper. It's all in my head.
And if you were killed?
Yeah, I see. Spring would come and the ships of the Turkish Navy would still be lying in the dockyards of Izmir and Gallipoli waiting for their new guns and torpedo tubes. Yeah, I see.
I thought you would. And wouldn't the enemies of Great Britain and Turkey be pleased with a delay in our naval program?
You mean a German agent is trying to kill me?
Yeah. The whole network of German agents in the Near East is concentrating very, very hard on just that problem, Mr. Graham.
I scarcely believe that.
It is true, Mr. Graham. The head of the German spy system in this region is Stefan Müller. For some time, Müller has been trying hard to have you killed. Do you realize we foiled one attempt on your life in Gallipoli?
What?
Yes. But that's all past now. Now we've got to foil this new attempt.
Yeah. How?
Müller has hired a man named Banner. Peter Banner. Say that name, Graham.
Peter Banner.
Don't forget it. Peter Banner is a professional killer. He's been hired to kill you.
Is that who was in this room tonight?
Must have been. Did you see him?
No.
It's too bad.
Colonel Harkey.
Yes?
Look, I'm no hero. I'd like the police to protect me, because even if I could recognize Banner, I wouldn't know how to cope with him. I need protection only overnight. I'm leaving on the 11 o'clock train tomorrow.
No, you're not.
My dear sir, I said I'm leaving on the 11 o'clock train tomorrow.
No, Mr. Graham, you're leaving on a small cargo ship going to Genoa.
Colonel Harkey, no. A train is faster, and I want to leave this country as fast as possible.
If you boarded the train, you would be dead before you reached Belgrade.
How about a plane?
You'd be shot down as soon as you crossed the border. Mr. Graham, if you do not agree to travel on the cargo ship, I shall protect my country and yours by arresting you, issuing an order for your deportation, and putting you on board that ship anyhow. I hope I make myself clear.
Quite clear.
Fine. You see, Mr. Graham, I'll be able to check the list of passengers very carefully. You will probably be very safe on that ship.
All right, I agree. But now let me tell you something. I'm in danger. I've been shot at. A large number of complete strangers are apparently anxious to kill me. I refuse to be passive, Colonel Harkey. I refuse to stand like a tall and stoop-shouldered target for a gang of cutthroats. You're making the arrangements, I accept that. But I insist on one thing. You've got to give me a gun. I boarded the ship the next afternoon. As I walked up the gangplank, I could feel things. Bullets, knives in my back. I hadn't slept. Hadn't turned the light out all night. And now as I stepped from the gangplank to the deck of that miserable little ship, I felt alone and alert. I was a traveler, embarking on a journey into fear.
Hello, monsieur.
What? Oh, startled me.
I didn't mean to frighten you, but we are to travel together. I feel we should know each other. My name is José. Maybe you have seen me dancing at the turquoise.
Oh, no, sorry.
Your name is David Graham, is it not?
How do you know that?
Don't you suppose a girl has ways of finding these things out, Monsieur Graham?
Perhaps, but I'd like to know how.
Does it matter?
To me, a great deal.
Can't you accept me as I am, without explanation?
At the moment, I'm afraid I can't accept anyone without explanation.
You sound mysterious, my friend.
I'm not your friend.
I hope you will be.
How did you find out my name? Did someone tell you?
You seem alarmed, Monsieur Graham.
Well, who told you my name? Who was it? Is it a passenger?
Monsieur Graham, please. I read the passenger list. You are English, and the only English name on the passenger list is Graham.
Good heavens, is that all?
But of course,
Well, why pick on me? Why not one of the other passengers?
because Englishmen have more money, Monsieur Graham.
Oh, you've come to the wrong Englishman.
I don't think so.
Oh, all right, so I'm a millionaire. What are you going to do with all my millions once you wheedle them out of me?
Maybe if you spend a little bit on 2 drinks, Monsieur Graham, we can discuss that.
All right, you're on. Give me 5 minutes to find my stateroom and wash up, and I'll meet you in the ship's bar.
All right. But don't forget your wallet, Monsieur Graham.
It was the first time I'd laughed since Vanna had shot at me in the hotel room. Josette had the hard little body and the wise young face of the professional dancer. And I've always had the normal emotions of the average male. I hurried to my stateroom, washed up, was about to leave for the ship's bar when I noticed an envelope fastened to my pillow slip. Mr. Graham, I have checked the passenger list. So far as I can tell, all the passengers are innocent. But we should not underestimate Stefan Muller. Make friends with no one, particularly those who seem anxious for your friendship. Signed, Colonel Harkey. Stewart.
Yes, sir?
Please have all my meals sent to the stateroom.
All of them, sir?
Yeah, all of them. I will not be leaving here, not for the entire voyage.
Very good, sir.
And Stewart,
Yes, sir?
when you bring my meals, knock 3 times, then once.
What is that, sir?
Knock 3 times, then once, like this.
Yes, sir.
It was not the signal I'd arranged with the steward. I sat on the edge of my bunk, my hands gripping the spread, and my eyes staring at the door. Was it Peter Vanna? Was it Josette? I took a quiet step toward my suitcase where my gun was. But then I heard a key inserted in the lock. Heard it slowly turning.
How do you do?
Who are you?
My name is Covertly.
What are you doing in my stateroom?
Please, this is my stateroom.
It is mine.
Please, it is a double stateroom. It is yours and mine.
Oh, there's some mistake here. Colonel Hawk, a friend of mine gave me to understand that I'd be here alone.
I'm sorry, I have some influence. An official of the shipping lines arranged for me to occupy this stateroom.
We'll have to find another one.
Oh, please. I understand there is no other one, Mr. Graham.
I suppose your influential friend gave you my name, too.
Naturally.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Cuvetto.
Oh, I do not want to drive you away.
You're not. I'm going to the dining saloon for dinner.
Mr.
Mr. Graham, wouldn't you like to sit at table with some of the other passengers? No, thank you. Wait, I prefer to be alone. Oh, very good, sir.
How do you do, Monsieur Graham?
Excuse you, sir.
You did not come to the bar as you promised, Monsieur.
No, I was delayed.
And forgive you. May I sit here?
Why, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I was just telling the waiter to bring my meal to that table over there. That man sitting alone, he's a friend of mine.
What's his name?
Don't tell me you didn't see his name on the passenger list, is that? If you'll pardon me, How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
My name is Graham. May I sit here?
You may, Mr. Graham, but perhaps you will not want to.
Oh, why not?
My name is Haller, Dr. Fritz Haller. I am a German, a good German. And perhaps you, a good Englishman, would not wish to sit with me.
Oh, not at all, if you don't mind.
Fine, Mr. Graham. Perhaps I am not as patriotic as I should be. I do not feel that because our countries are at war, we should insult each other.
I agree with you.
Have you been long in the Near East, Mr. Graham?
3 months. You?
3 years. I'm an archaeologist. Are you interested in archaeology, Mr. Graham?
I don't know much about it.
I was investigating the early pre-Islamic cultures. I found that some of the tribes that moved westward 4,000 years ago preserved Sumerian culture almost intact until long after the fall of Babylon.
Oh, indeed. May I sit here?
How do you do, sir? Sit down, of course. My name is Haller. This is Mr. Graham.
My name is Covetli. Mr. Graham and I have met. We are sharing a stateroom. Not so, Mr. Graham?
It would seem so.
Mr. Graham and I were talking about archaeology.
Oh, I know nothing about archaeology. I am only a tobacco salesman.
Really? What company?
Bazaar and Company. But I should be most interested to hear about archaeology.
I was telling Mr. Graham about some of the tribes who lived on the plains of Iran. The form of the perpetuation of the Adonis myth alone was instructive to me. The weeping for Thomas was always a focal point of the prehistoric.
Haller talked throughout the meal. It was a monumental ball, but I was grateful to him for talking, for I could not have said one to hear him sing myself. Cuvetli kept staring at me with a smile that my own numb, frightened face could not answer. When finally the meal was finished, I could gratefully leave.
He is personified by 3 different races. The Sumerians called the god...
Pardon me, gentlemen.
You are leaving, Mr. Graham?
Yeah.
Please, we should go to our stateroom together.
Oh, I'm sorry, but as a matter of fact, Dr. Haller promised that after dinner he'd tell me something interesting about the connection between my business and archaeology. Didn't you, Dr. Haller?
What? Oh, yes, of course.
If you're quite ready, then we could take a turn about the deck.
Why, of course.
You will excuse us, Mr. Cuvetli.
Certainly. I will see you later, Mr. Graham.
Mr. Graham, you lied to Mr. Cuvetli. You made me lie to him. I really don't understand.
I'm terribly sorry, Dr. Haller, but I simply do not like the man. I wanted to be rid of him.
He is peculiar. For one thing, he is capable of a lie himself.
What do you mean?
He said he was a tobacco salesman for Bazaar and Company. There is no such firm. Now, Mr. Graham, about the Sumerian epic.
Dr. Haller and I took 2 turns around the deck, and then he retired. I could not bring myself to go to my stateroom, where Cuvetli, or what's his name, Bana, awaited me. I went to the lounge, but Josette was there. Before she saw me, I backed away and returned to the deck. I walked around and around for hours. The wind rose, and the water lapped against the side of the little vessel. And still I did not dare return to my stateroom. If I went there and grew tired, so that my eyes closed against my will, I might never open them. I paced the deck until nearly dawn. Twice I thought I heard someone behind me, but when I turned, there was no one there. Finally, I went wearily down the companionway and across the corridor to my stateroom door. But I fumbled for my key.
Please.
Oh,
let me use my key, Mr. Graham. We both walk all night, eh?
I didn't sleep. I lay for hours listening to the snores of Mr. Cuvetli. The ship docked at Athens, and still I lay there while Cuvetli rose and dressed.
I am going to visit Athens today, Please, you will come with me, Mr. Graham?
No, thank you.
Very well. Goodbye, then.
Then I slept. It was late in the day when I awoke. As I was dressing, Bentley returned from his trip to Athens.
Well, Mr. Graham, you should have come with me. Athens is most educational.
Is that so?
Yes. Have you met the new passenger?
No. No, I remained here in the stateroom all day.
So? The new passenger came aboard sometime during the afternoon. His name is Mivrodopoulos.
Huh?
And yet, it is strange.
What is?
Please, you must not think me fanciful, Mr. Graham. But I have the feeling I have met Mr. Mivrodopoulos before, and that then he did not call himself Mivrodopoulos.
What did he call himself?
Bana. Peter Bana.
In a moment, we will return with the second act of Journey into Fear, sponsored by the United States Steel Corporation. And here speaking for United States Steel is George Hicks.
Last Thursday, June 6th, was the second anniversary of D-Day. That never-to-be-forgotten June day in 1944, when the United States and Great Britain smashed ashore to speed the final defeat of Germany with the most powerful seaborne invasion ever attempted. I had the high honor of being an eyewitness to that gigantic, history-making operation and of describing it over the transatlantic radio to American listeners. Tonight, I have the equally high honor of being able to tell you about one man among the tens of thousands who took part in that D-Day operation, one man who is a symbol of the way our armed forces fought to safeguard our American way of living. This one man is Lester H. Bauman. He's 25 years old. He won the Purple Heart when he was wounded on D-Day off the Omaha beachhead there in Normandy. But after 8 weeks in the hospital, he returned to the United States and went on to fight the Japs. Now he's back at work at the Cuyahoga Works of the American Steel and Wire Company, where he'd been employed before the war. Today, he's a foreman and happy in his job. A good example of the United States Steel Corporation's intensive program to provide worthwhile jobs to returning servicemen. Even while Lester Bauman was fighting, United States Steel was planning ways in which men like Lester, and especially those veterans who are physically handicapped, would again take their places on peacetime production lines. In United States Steel's family of 250,000 workers, some 45,000, 1 out of every 5 are returned servicemen. Those 45,000 jobs are U.S. Steel's way of keeping faith with the men who made our victory possible.
We pause briefly for station identification. You are listening to the Hour of Mystery, sponsored by the industrial family that serves the nation, United States Steel. The curtain rises on the second act of Eric Ambler's story, Journey into Fear, starring Laurence Olivier as David Graham.
Did you ever perform a whole series of complex and purposeful movements without realizing what you were doing? I did. After Bentley told me that Peter Banner, the man who had been hired to kill me, was with me on the ship, I pulled on my trousers, put on my socks and shoes, knotted the laces securely, put on my shirt, buttoned it, tied my tie, and put on my jacket. I know I must have done these things because suddenly I realized I was fully dressed. Bentley was still talking to me, but I left the stateroom and went directly to the office of the purser.
How do you do? Monsieur Graham, is it?
Yes, I want to see the captain at once.
For what reason, monsieur?
It's absolutely necessary that I be put ashore immediately.
Impossible, Monsieur Graham. The pilot boat has gone.
I know that, but the circumstances are exceptional, and I'm ready to pay for the loss of time and the inconvenience caused.
But why? Are you ill?
No, but I assure you my reasons are excellent.
Perhaps, monsieur. But we do not alter our schedule on the basis of mere assurances.
Very well. Since you insist on details, I'll tell you. There's a man on this ship who is here for the express purpose of killing me.
Indeed, monsieur. And his name?
Peter Banner.
There is no one of that name on this ship, monsieur.
He's traveling as Mivrodopoulos.
Can you prove Mivrodopoulos is really Banner?
If you radio Colonel Haki of the Turkish Secret Police at Istanbul, he will confirm what I say.
And you think he would recognize the man at that distance, monsieur?
This is no joking matter. I know what I'm talking about.
Monsieur, how do you know? Do you know either Mivrodopoulos or Banner personally?
No.
Well, then, monsieur, you can't...
That's why I hesitated. Mr. Cuvetle told me that Mivrodopoulos is Banner. But then Cuvetle may himself be Banner. In either case, I must be put ashore immediately.
Monsieur Graham, do you realize how much you begin to sound like a man who has a bad dream?
I tell you, my life is in danger.
Or perhaps you have not had a bad dream, huh? Perhaps you have invented this story simply because for some private reason you wish to be put ashore. If that is true, I'm sorry. It is a ridiculous story. Now, if you will excuse me, I have work to do.
I demand...
No, monsieur. I demand. I demand that you close the door as you leave.
Bartender.
Yes, Mr. Graham?
Another whiskey and soda.
Yes, sir.
Well, Monsieur Graham, you even drink alone.
Oh, hello, Josette. Did you care to join me?
I'm not sure. You've been very rude to me, you know.
I'm really sorry. Won't you have a drink?
Yes, thank you. Vermouth cassis.
Vermouth cassis for the lady?
Here, will you bring it to the little table over there in the corner?
Yes, sir.
Come, Josette.
So, we're going to have a tete-a-tete.
Oh, be more comfortable.
Voila. And now you tell me why you are so nervous.
Nervous?
Yes, Monsieur Graham. I have seen people who are afraid before. They have a special look about them. Their faces look very small and gray around the mouth. And they cannot keep their hands still.
Do I look like that?
Yes. And I wonder why.
Josette, have you noticed the bandage on my hand?
Oh.
I have a bullet wound there.
You're joking.
No. There are a number of people who, for business reasons, wish me dead. One of them is on this ship.
Who is he?
His name is Peter Banner.
Then he must be traveling under another name.
Yes. Banner is one of those too.
Monsieur Graham, you're not joking.
No.
Then why do you trust me with this information?
Trust is not exactly the word, Josette. If you are not in league with Banner and all the rest, it can do me no harm having you know. If you are in league with them...
I am not.
If you are in league with them, you can tell them this from me. I'm through with waiting. Let them watch out for themselves. The ocean is as deep and cold for them as it is for me. Their flesh is as yielding to the caress of a bullet as mine. Tell Mivrodopoulos that. Tell Cuvetle that. The waiter brought our drinks, and we talked politely after that. And even flirted a bit. But my mind was elsewhere. I was full of resentment and anger against the men who were waiting to strike me down in the dark. When we had finished our drinks, I excused myself and strode directly to my stateroom. Went in and opened the suitcase. Why the devil? Why the devil is it? The gun Colonel Haki had given me was gone.
You went to Athens this afternoon, Mr. Graham?
No, Dr. Allen.
I did. Your friend, Mr. Cuvetle, persuaded me.
Is that so?
Yes. He had never seen Athens. We hired a car. The chauffeur did the guiding. And since Mr. Cuvetle speaks fluent Greek, the whole thing went off quite satisfactorily.
You say he speaks Greek? Yet has never been to Athens?
Yes. You'd think he would have been, wouldn't you? However, we had...
Excuse me. May I share this table? My name is Mivrodopoulos.
Oh, of course. I'm Dr. Haller, and this is Monsieur Graham.
Monsieur Graham.
How do you do?
I've traveled a long way today, from Salonika.
That's strange.
Oh? What is strange about it, Mr. Graham?
Seems to me, Mr. Mavrodopoulos, that it's easier to travel from Salonika to Genoa by train.
Some people don't like trains, Mr. Graham.
And then some people have special missions on ships.
Perhaps. Dr. Haller, you are a German?
I am, but I hope, Mr. Mavrodopoulos, that we will not get into a political argument.
Not at all. I like Germany. Germany and Italy.
And what do you think about England?
I agree with Dr. Haller. I do not like to get into a political argument.
You have business in Genoa, Mr. Mavrodopoulos?
Yes.
I understand the thing to see in Genoa is the cemetery.
Is that so? Why?
It's a very large cemetery, very well arranged, and planted with very fine cypresses.
Perhaps I shall go there, then.
Perhaps you shall, Mr. Mavrodopoulos. Perhaps you shall.
Excuse me, Mr. Graham. I've been noticing the bandage on your hand. You had an accident?
This is a bullet wound, Mr. Mavrodopoulos. Some dirty little thief took a shot at me in Istanbul. It was either a bad shot or frightened. He missed.
A dirty little thief, eh? Must look after yourself carefully, Mr. Graham.
I'm perfectly well able to do that, Mr. Mavrodopoulos.
Is that so? And you're ready to shoot back next time. You carry a pistol? You hesitate, my dear sir. Perhaps you do not carry a pistol. You should. A man in your position must be very, very careful, Mr. Graham.